What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today I'm going to talk to you about Latonya Baxter, who was murdered, and her body is still not found. Now, she went missing September 12th. That's only one day after Gabby Petito was reported missing by her mother, and she got so much coverage. Latonya Baxter did not get the same coverage. How I found out about Latonya Baxter is I went looking to see, like I normally do, what can I talk about on my channel about somebody's missing, maybe bring that content to my channel. Maybe it will help somebody and they can share it out, get the information out there. Because, there's a lot of people that's gone missing and you don't hear about it. So I came across her name and I was reading the story, and I said, oh my goodness, she's been missing since September 12th, and really nobody's talking about it. It did not hit the media, and I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, I know what's going on, but I want to talk to you about Latonya Baxter. Her daughter and her were inseparable. They did everything together. They were very close. So let's get into that. This summer, Jackson and her mother decided to move to Pensacola from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, because, they were looking for something new and wanted to start different in a different place. They knew a relative who owned a house on Warwick Avenue. They made arrangements to rent rooms there, packed up their belongings, and went for it. A new life in a new place, a new chapter, a new adventure. Right? Sounds promising. Sounds like something that we all want to do at some point in our lives when we don't want to stay in the same place. We want to branch out and see what else is out there. The mother and daughter were both hired at the same time to work as nursing assistant at the Waterford at Carpenter's Creek, an assisted living facility on North Davis Highway. Jackson had worked at a nursing homes before, but it was her mother's first time in that line of work, and she was surprised how much she enjoyed it. She actually loved it, her daughter said. She was actually thinking about going back to school to become a nurse. Baxter became one of the best employees at the assisted living facility, according to her supervisor, Nicole Bryant. She had only been here about 3 months, but I tell you, she was a stellar employee. She was just the sweetest and most giving person. She recalled when Baxter learned that one of her daughter's new co-workers was actually homeless. She allowed the homeless woman and her daughter to live with her and Jackson for a while until she can get on her feet. Me and my director were just talking, and I said, man, you had some really bad hires, but these two you hired from Pennsylvania have been the best employees you've hired since I've been here for the 2 years. The supervisor added Baxter, even though she had not been told yet, was just about to be named Employee of the Month prior to her death. Vanessa Stockhill, a medical technician who also worked with Baxter, said a heavy feeling was, came over the assisted living facilities hall in the recent days. She worked on the floor helping residents get up and doing their care, like getting them dressed and taking them to meals and activities. All the residents loved her. Everybody is still in shock, including the residents, she said. All the residents keep asking, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything else? Do they have more leads? I tell them I don't know, and that, they still haven't found her yet. Investigators received help in their search Thursday from local members of the national organization KIDS, National Search for Missing Children. So about 10:30 a.m. Thursday, a group of members, along with approximately 3 dogs, was spotted conducting a search for Baxter's body near the intersection of North Palafox Street and Airport Boulevard. In the days since her mother's disappearance, some of Janae's relatives have been arriving in Pensacola to offer their support. Among them was Baxter's cousin, Tamika Hall. She was just fun and full of energy. And she just had this laugh, Hall told the News Journal. Her laugh just made everybody else laugh. Even if you didn't want to laugh, that laugh made you laugh. Oh my goodness. This is just so sad. You know, they did get the suspect that did this to her. He was a roommate, and his name is Giles Curt Jones. So, let me give you some update about that. It's just really sad. You know, I don't know why people do the things they do. You know, she was murdered by her roommate. Okay, she was murdered by her roommate. They moved to Pensacola, Florida to start new, for a fresh start. Okay, the mother and daughter were inseparable, so they relocated together. And her daughter says she just wants people to know that her mother was very sweet and that she was a good person. Baxter's roommate, Giles Curt Jones, who's 38 years old, was arrested late Wednesday afternoon in her death. He was taken into custody at the Pensacola Greyhound Station and was booked into the county jail without bond on suspicion of first-degree premeditated murder. Now, Baxter's body had not been recovered yet, okay, and search efforts are still underway, according to the Pensacola Police Department spokesman Mike Wood. Anyone with any information on this case is asked to contact the Pensacola Police Department at 850-435-1901. Now, her daughter, Janae Jackson, said, the last time she saw her mother was Friday. She contacted police Sunday to report that her mother was missing from their home in the 100 block of Warwick Avenue. At that point, it already had been the longest she's ever gone without speaking to her mother. I've never gone a day without talking to her, maybe not even a couple of hours without talking to her. PPD officers searched the home that Baxter, her daughter, and Jones all rented rooms at the home and found blood in Baxter's bedroom and other sites on the property, as well as in a vehicle belonging to Jones, according to the police. Investigators also obtained a cell phone that belongs to Jones. A photo on the phone that was taken at 1:54 p.m. Saturday showed Baxter deceased with obvious signs of trauma, according to the police. Further investigation revealed that Jones' car was in Century at about noon on Saturday and came back through the area at about 3 p.m. Jackson says she has no idea what could have led Jones to kill her mother. We met him about 4 months ago, about a month before we moved, she said. He was a family friend. He was just a roommate. So when she say he was a family friend, meaning because that house that they were all, that, was going to rent the room from, belonged to a relative. Okay? So this guy, Giles, was a family friend. I don't know of who, but he ended up killing Latonya Baxter, and they were all roommates. He was renting a room, she was renting a room. They was all renting a room, and the roommate ended up killing Latonya Baxter. Now, why would he do that? It's still unknown why. Her body still has not been recovered yet, and they're still searching. They are still searching for her body. Well, I'm glad they got that POS. How could you do that? And he looks like he's a nutcase anyway. He looks like something is wrong. But why would you want to do that? Okay, so let me just back up a little bit. She went missing September 10th, okay? She went missing September 10th. But her daughter reported her missing September 12th, okay? So I just want to clarify that. I wanted to make sure I put the right information. And I will also put it in the comment section so people can see that I corrected that. She went missing on September 10th. And her daughter reported her missing on the 12th. Okay. The police officers began to suspect foul play was involved in her disappearance when they found blood splattered in 3 places in her home and in the trunk of her roommate's car. Okay, now that's according to a newly released report. 5 days after Baxter's disappearance, her roommate, Giles Curt Jones, who's 38, was arrested in her death. And he is charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Her body has still not been recovered. It still has not been recovered yet. Okay, they're still looking in wooded areas for her body. Now, according to Jones' arrest report, police first stated to investigate him as a potential murder suspect 2 days before he was arrested. Jackson, Baxter, and Jones all rented rooms. No one else has access to the house. My goodness. And there was large amounts of blood in the trunk of the car. So they're still investigating. They are still investigating. Further investigation revealed a license plate reader at the intersection of US 29 at State Road 4 took photos of Jones' car in Century at about noon on Saturday, and the car then passed back through the area at about 3 p.m. So maybe she's somewhere in Century. She's probably somewhere in Century. Investigators noted a tattoo of a mermaid on the wrist matched a tattoo seen on Baxter's wrist in a family photo. I really do hope they find her body so that her family could give her a proper burial. What would make him do such a thing? That's just horrible. That's horrible. It's just, you can't trust nobody to do nothing. You can't trust to live around nobody. You can't trust anybody to do anything for you. Nowadays, you just can't trust nobody for nothing, for anything. It's not even safe to have a dang on roommate. That's crazy. And this is all baffling the family. It's like, why? Why would he do this to her? Did he try to make it, did he try to push up on her and she denied him and he just lost his mind? Or, what happened? Well, I tell you, I'm just glad that he's arrested and he's in jail. He can't do this to no one else. Okay? And I want you guys to please do me a favor and share this. Let's get her name out there. Okay? And when I come across more and more people that are missing, I will speak about them. I will put it out there. But please share this. And don't forget to please share Daniel Robinson's video. Let's get these people out there. Okay? Please share it on all your platforms. Wherever you are, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, please share it. We have to get people's names out there. Because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Okay? But anyway, I was going to say something after that, but I said no, because my mouth could get me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I won't. I'll just, I won't say nothing. But let's get our people out there. when we hear of them missing, I would try my best to even get on there and say, look, put this out there. Keep checking my community posts, okay? Because I'm going to be posting on my community posts, and I'm going to be doing coverage on this. We need to get our, people out there who's missing. Do you know that I came across a woman who was missing since 1974? Crazy, right? It's crazy. I read an article about a woman, her remains were found, and she was missing for 43 years. It's crazy. We have to get this out there. So, please, all I ask of you is just to share my missing persons content, because we have to get them out there. We have to. All right? So I'll talk to you guys later, and y'all have a good one.